Do you like America? Name every town. Welcome to a new series I'm going to be doing where I'm going to pick one random town that you've never heard of from the middle of the country, so long as it has less than 1,000 people living in it, doing 30 minutes of research, and then explaining the entire town's history because no one asked. What do you think of Stuart, Nebraska? Trick question, you've never heard of Stuart, Nebraska, you really have to stop lying to me, your mother and I are very concerned. Stuart is located in the state of Nebraska, which sucks so hard it can't even commit to being a perfect rectangle. The scenery looks like a Minecraft super flat map, and the flag bearing the words "The Great Seal of Nebraska" is horribly misleading because there are actually no seals native to Nebraska. This comedically zoomed out map shows the location of Stuart, Nebraska in a world in which Canada has become an ocean. In a more zoomed in map, we can see the city planners had an absolute field day with some sketch paper and a ruler when designing this town's layout. We can also see Stuart's main attractions, both the White Horse Museum and the Southside Mini Mart. In the 2010 census, the booming metropolis of Stuart had about 590 people living there, but it's estimated that they now have less, which is really hard to imagine because who wouldn't want to live here? According to these records from the University of Lincoln, Nebraska, Stuart was settled in 1879, and the town derives its name from a man named Jonathan Griswold. I'm kidding, his name was fucking Stuart. Did you really? In the beginning of American history, place names took a lot of inspiration from what was around them, with naming schemes like Rocky Hill, Oak Bluff, and Shipwreck Cove. But by the time people got out west, there was no reference point because it was just a giant sea of grass, so the thought process was more akin to, well, the only geological, physiological feature that there is out here is me, and so I will be naming this place after myself. But in the 1880s, the town got an upgrade and they added a fucking train station to it, and that made business boom. Now, I can't find a picture of that long-defunct train station, so instead I've included this picture of the most scenic place in town. But in the 1980s, the Missouri Valley Railway, which ran the train station, was dissolved, and so business pretty much dried up in the train department. Stuart actually has its own newspaper called The Wrangler, which is pretty cool, and I am honestly the most shocked that they managed to get the best graphic designer in the world to work on a newspaper in Stuart fucking Nebraska. I mean, look at this, it's unbelievable. Now, interestingly, Stuart clocks in at about 1.4 square miles, which is actually around the same size as New York City, if you round up to the nearest 302.6. Just to help you visualize the sheer size of this town in numbers that make sense to you, I've done some quick cocktail napkin math and learned that you could cover the entire surface area of this town with about 76 million pizzas. So if you had about $760 million to burn, you could bully the living shit out of this random Nebraska town as well as causing untold ecological damages. This is what Domino's pizza stock looks like right now. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but tourists of the legendary Stuart prefer US 20 because it is the fastest way out. This is a picture from the Book of Eli that I was planning on making a joke about. This unused silo was used by a local artist as a canvas for a mural to really spice up the town and is located conveniently close to the water tower that's completely full of natty light. Okay, I'm done now. I don't know what the fuck this video turned into. I genuinely went into this video with the best intention in the world and it just devolved and now it's just the most shitpost thing I've ever made in my life.